All right, Michael, I'm starting to
Mhm.
record, and
Okay.
thank you very much for letting us record this for our community. I really
Oh,
appreciate it.
oh, no problem.
Um, do you want to drive so I don't slow you down? Uh,
That's
you may have to request control because it's blinking out on me up there.
all right. No problem.
All right. So, what is it called again that we're trying to do? It's Microsoft's.
So yes, it's the um, Windows Autopilot. So Windows Autopilot basically give you the ability to out the box, right out the box, you can basically have that particular end user log in, and they'll get everything they need right out the box. There's basically no need for anyone from IT to basically configure the machine before handing it off to the end user. So it's just a great way to kind of speed things up as far as deployments and rollouts is concerned, and it is making it a more enjoyable experience for the end user as well because they can basically you can give them the box and they basically can see that this machine is brand new and everything and configure it themselves. And it's very simple for them to set up. Basically, all they need to know is their email address and password, and that's it. Everything will be set up for them. As far as the admin side of it, there's a few things that we need to do for the admin part of it. Um, so there's just two things. So there's two ways that this will work. So if you have a partnership with a OEM like HP or with us with Microsoft as far as getting any surfaces, will automatically provide that information that you need for those devices to be uh, part of the Windows Autopilot program. So uh, so that information will already be provided for you. For existing machines, you can still contact the OEM to try to get that information, or that way you don't have to get it manually. But if you don't have the information, then we'll go ahead and we'll run a PowerShell script, and that PowerShell script will create uh, a Excel file or CSV file for you, for you can upload to the Windows for Education website in order for that for us to know, for that autopilot services to know that the machine should go through that process. So the first thing we should do is to go to the the website. So Windows Autopilot. So this is the overview of Windows Autopilot. This is a great read. Like I said, it tells you the benefits of it, and this is the prereqs for it. So um, of course, it must be registered to your organization, and we'll do that in a moment here. And the device has to be 1703 or later. So anything before that will not work as designed. So you want to make sure that the machines that you have will be on 1703 or later. It doesn't tell us what edition, but um, from what I understand, it should be at least Pro. So Pro, um, Education, and Enterprise should work with this as well. And of course, devices must have access to internet. So at the beginning of the experience, they'll be asked to connect to internet. Once they connect to internet, then they'll contact our services, and of course, they'll go through that process. And also, your tenant also needs to have Azure AD Premium, P1 or P2 subscription. So make sure you have that. And of course, you can use Intune, or you can also use other third-party MDMs as well to go through this process. It goes through some of the scenarios as well, and there's a video as well of demonstrating this. Um, Registering devices. So this is what we need to do. So devices that, let's say that you don't have the information from your OEM, then you'll have to get this information manually. And the way to get it manually is to run this PowerShell script. So we'll go ahead and download this PowerShell script here.
Hold on one second. I'm actually going to join the machine that we'll play with to this meeting as well, so we can just share
Okay,
it over there.
no problem. So in order for to actually see the experience, we need to do it through the out of box experience. So this could also be done on a VM as well. So if you have Hyper-V or VMware or any other type of virtual machines up and running, we can also do this on a virtual machine.
Oh, we can. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Let me do that. I'm going to pause the recording just for a second, and then
Okay.
hold on. All right, I'm recording again. Okay, so what we're going to do is Michael has informed me that we can do this through a VM and actually see the experience. So we've opened up a VM for us to use. And Michael, do you want to drive again, or do you want me to jump us to the machine?
Yeah, go ahead and jump from the machine, and I can drive from there.
Okay, there you go.
All right. All right. So let's go back to the overview website again. Uh-oh. Okay.
Hey, Michael, let me borrow my mouse just for 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all yours.
All right, thank you. All right, so it's a little too much. Oops. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to click on here. We'll take it to the PowerShell gallery, then we'll go ahead and download the script. All right, so we should just be able to. Drive. Should be able to paste this. If not, I'll just type it.
I'm going to try it from my computer.
Yeah, you could try it. Just trying to paste it in there. Otherwise, I'll just type it. It's not that long, so. All right, there you go. All right, so file path. Let's just put it straight on the C drive. Should be fine. So you're gonna want to install some other binaries to actually download this PowerShell script. So I'm just gonna put yes, Y for yes. All right, so let's see if it's actually there. Yep, it's there. Okay, good. So, and of course, I need to go ahead and go to the C drive again. And, then this is the way to do it. All right. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. So the first thing we need to do, if you have running scripts disabled, we need to go ahead and change the execution policy. So right now, we can just check and see what it's at. That way we can change it back. So it's at restricted. So we're going to change it to bypass. So set execution policy. I'm just going to put bypass. Be sufficient. Let's put yes. All right. All right. So this is the hard hash, but we need to go ahead and we need to save this as a CSV file. So we'll probably need to get help.
We could just remember that code.
Yeah, I guess you could, right? If you do that, then remember a lot more than that then. All right, so let's see. Usually you can type in some things here to get help. Probably gonna make us, well, okay. Let me just find out what the command is. All right. So if you scroll down to the bottom in the comment section, they actually have the commands here. So the command that we want to run is, oops. And I also have a official blog here as well. There we go. So the command that we want to run is this one right here.
You want me to copy and paste it?
Yes.
That did not work. Let's try it that way. There you go.
All right, great. So let's see. So I'm just gonna hit enter on this. It's gonna error out, but all right. Did I cancel that? All right, there we go. Clear all my mistakes up. All right, so hit the up arrow. Oh, so first thing I want to do though, I want to get the host name. So this is the host name. So that's what you will replace where it has my computer. You'll actually put the name of the computer that you are trying to gather this information from. Yeah. And this means that it's going to output it in the same directory that you're currently in, which is our C drive. Let's see if that works. Looks like it did. Let's just go to directory. Yep, and there it is. So let's go ahead and go to that folder there. So we don't have Excel installed here, but that's fine. We can look at it in Notepad. Just drag it over. And there we go. So we have all the information needed that we can upload. So I have the device serial number. So since it's a VM, it's usually some generalized generic number here. Then you have the hardware hash, which is how we determine this machine is actually the machine that needs to go through the process and who owns that machine and all that stuff. So that's good. So that's all we had to do. If.
Do we want to copy that file? Do we need that for configuration?
So yeah. So if you want to go ahead and if we can actually log into the Windows for Education on the VM itself, or we can go ahead and do it from your main host box. It's up to you. But we need to go to sign into the Windows Store for Education portal.
Okay, I'll let you drive.
Okay, so if you don't know the URL, we just ping it here. So Windows Store for Education, or edu is fine. And here it is right here. And this is not the. No, that's it. edu portal.
This is different than the portal that we use for everything else we do, correct?
Yeah, this is a bit different. This is where you can deploy out line of business apps through the Windows Store and some other apps that's in our Windows Store. It's a way to get the license for them, especially for paid apps, and deploy it that way as well.
Okay.
Let me just put Windows Store for Business. Even though this is an education, you can still log into this Windows Store for Business and sign in here. Then it'll automatically take you to the education portal. All right, so you just sign in with your GA account.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, great. Okay. All right. So once you log in, like I say, it'll take you to the education portal, and this is the actual URL if you want to go there directly. So we go on to manage. So on the manager, we'll have a workspace here called devices. So we'll go to that workspace here. Then we're going to go ahead and add devices. So when we add devices, it's wanting that particular file that we just created, that CSV file. So we're going to double click on that. Now it's going to ask for a group. So we can create the name of the group could be anything you want. It could be students, teachers, however you want to organize your devices. In this case, I'm just going to type in test.
Do you want to call it test? Oh, never mind.
Oh, we can also change it as well.
I was gonna say, let's call it test AutoPilot in case
Okay.
do another group or something.
All right, view groups. That's good. Oh, it's still, let me refresh here. So you had to click on refresh in order to show up. And let's see if we can rename it.
If we can, it doesn't matter. We'll keep going. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Few devices. That's fine because it's an easy, very easy process. So test auto. And usually gonna take some moment, but you have to click on this refresh my list. And there we go.
And I kind of relate this close to how Apple's DEP program works. So we basically added it into our database, and now it knows this device belongs to our school.
Yes, that's exactly how. That's probably gonna be the best comparison. And so yes, it's similar to Apple's the device enrollment program, where you can kind of customize the login experience, and everything will come down after that. So again, it makes it a very easy process and something that you can do right out the box. So after we have this group here, a few devices, and let's see, we want to go ahead and create a new profile. Now, this here to create new profile will show up in the actual Intune portal as well, in portal.azure.com. Under the Intune services, you'll have the ability to create the profile directly from Intune. Currently, it's not in there, but it will be there sometime soon, hopefully the next month or two, that you'll be able to do this directly from Intune and deploy it out that way. But for right now, we still have to do it in this particular portal.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and create a profile here. So the profile can be named, again, can be whatever you want. I'm just going ahead and put test AutoPilot profile. Okay. So by default, it's going to skip all of these particular setup
Awesome.
pages. So all that would be skipped. And we can also skip these privacy settings. You can just.
And I'm assuming this next part where it disables local admin account creation. So my understanding is normally the first account that logs in becomes an admin. But if we want to dictate an admin account, then that's what we turn on. And okay, great.
Yep. So we can turn that on. So if the end user who's logging into the machine is not part of that global, is not either a global admin or part of the group, where you can set an Azure AD, where you can, under the device settings, where you can add local admins to be added to the device, then there will not be a local admin on the device. So
great.
So this is great as well. That's a lot of customers was requesting that. So this is one way to do it without going through the DIM account and using the DIM account to go through that process. Because it actually will automatically assign that UPN that's logging in to that device as well. So that's a good way to keep track of linking those devices directly to the users who are actually going to be using it. So good, very good for one-to-one scenarios. Okay. All right. So great. So that's basically it. So we assign a profile. Let me just make sure. Apply. I gotta apply it first. So great. So we have it applied. Yep. So we have it applied. Let's see more info. It does take you to the some other stuff about the AutoPilot deployment program. So yeah, so it's good to go. All we need to do now is put this device back into a out-of-the-box experience. Then you can see the end-user experience.
Okay, and we can do that from from a fresh install on a VMware?
Yes, on this particular device. So it has to be this device because that's what we removed the got the information from. So if you created a brand new virtual machine, it's not going to work. It has to be the same device that we just got it from.
Right.
So it could do a factory reset, or if you have a checkpoint or a snapshot of the out-of-the-box experience, we can go directly from there. Otherwise, we have to do a factory reset, or you can also just wipe it and install it cleanly.
All right, well, let's do a. Can we do a factory reset from here?
Yeah, in my experience, if we do a factory reset, it usually takes longer than just wiping it directly. Like just put
A fresh install on it?
yeah, the first install. It'll work that way as well. As long as it's the same virtual machine, it'll work.
Okay. Let me just pause this so everyone doesn't get tied up in some of this, and we'll hold on one sec. All right, so now this is as if we turn on a brand new machine.
Yes.
And then just bear with me because I don't have the VMware tools installed, so I'm going to have to do a lot of tabbing.
So yeah, since we already connected, we'll contact our services, and we're noticing that this machine should go to the AutoPilot experience.
And it's automatically installing it into Intune, or does that happen once the first user logs in?
Yeah, that happens when the first user logs in.
All right, so it's not a domain, so I'm assuming it's not Office 365, so we're going to try one of our accounts.
Yes. So what we just did, so that'd be the end user logging in, so they can use their own account to log in, and depending on the profile that you have set, they'll go through the other things as well, and not have admin rights. So yeah, simple as that. So usually before we get to this part, just a little insider information here. And a later release of Windows 10, you'll actually have another screen that actually will show the policies that's applying any profiles and any applications. So it won't even get to this part where they get to the desktop until all those things are applied. That way, when they get to the desktop, everything be there ready to go. So so when we get to the desktop, the applications won't already be there. It'll still be installing those applications, but it will install eventually. So that's one thing to keep in mind for this particular release of the AutoPilot is that you'll go straight to the desktop. It will appear that nothing applied yet, but it will apply in a few moments. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for this test, we're deploying two pieces of software, hopefully behind the scenes, and the overall idea is that we buy a new machine, it's already pre-configured from a company that we purchase it from, we load it into the system, and then we just literally hand the boxed computer to the teacher or staff member. They open it up, they log in with their credentials, and in theory, we don't have to touch the machine, which is very exciting.
Very. So this is definitely a great improvement to the experience that most people have with Windows. So this is part of our modern management way of doing things now. So versus the traditional way where you just You get a machine, you have somebody from IT wipe it, then you load it with your own custom image. This is the new way to doing things now. Just right out the box, and everything will be applied like it's supposed to. Even in removing some of the OEM apps and stuff like that, we'll have a policy where we can actually remove those pre-installed apps to make it a very clean install. So very neat. So simple as that. So.
And then we should see. We should be able to see the deployment. Is that correct? Like the apps turning up in here.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is the from the group that we created.
Yeah, we added it in here.
So you added that. Okay. So it'll probably take a moment. Like I said, that experience will be different in a later release, where it doesn't get you here until those apps actually install. That way, it doesn't confuse anyone that, hey, these apps haven't installed or it's not working. So in order to speed up things, you can go under the Add a Record School settings, and you can do a manual sync and kind of speed things up. But it will apply in a moment here. It might just take another few minutes before it applies.
While we're waiting, I'm trying to get the VMware. I'm trying to get the VMware tools installed there, so that I've got some mouse control.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Again, don't have admin rights, so you have to log into a global admin or so is that account a global admin or just a?
Yeah, I think it is.
So it's possible that under the device settings, that under Azure AD, the account has to be part of the add the user as a global or as a local admin as well. So
Yeah, let me pause the recording for 1 second. Hang on.
okay, no problem.
All right, it's recording again.
Okay, so yes, this the particular setting for additional local administrators on Azure AD join machines. So if you want to have a set of admins on every machine that go through this process, then you need to make sure members are added here. The one thing to keep in mind is that right now, if you join a machine, if you go through the process and you need to add someone after the fact, that particular account will not have global admin rights on there. So I would recommend to make sure that you have some type of generic account that's greatly securely protected. That way anyone can use it, but that way you don't have to worry about if you add someone an actual user account on there that is not going to be on previous machines after you add it. So just keep that in mind.
I'm not sure I'm very clear on that.
Well, understand. So basically, so like your local admin account. So if that's a shared account that any of your local desktop admins can use, then that's what I recommend. Because right now, if you go through the process, the only way that these accounts will be added if you go through the process again. So once you go through the process, it's not going to add accounts after the fact. You have to go through the process of doing the out of the box experience again, or at least unjoin it from Azure AD and join it back to Azure AD.
Got it. So because of the ones we've done already, this would not turn up.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, exactly.
anything in the future would. Got it. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Other options. Yeah. And that's a big one for the maximum number of devices per user. Well, that's only if you was using the dim account. So if you're not using a dim account, then you don't have to worry about this anymore. You can actually just probably limit it to 20 or 10 or less than that if you wanted to. Unlimited is basically for the dim accounts because you use that dim account to do this process or a similar process. The old way of doing it, I won't say the old way, but another way you can enroll a device is using a device enrollment manager account, and you can reach that limit real quick as far as Azure AD joining those machines if it's set to a hard limit. So, but you really don't have to worry about that if you're going to do one-on-one deployments.
Okay, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yep.
I'm going to pause this again and switch back over. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, so we log back into the machine that we're testing, and we're going to force a manual sync.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we're going to force a manual sync.
Yeah. So yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll just enter. All right, and we'll click on where you see the Microsoft icon. Click on there. Go one. Yep. So we need to go to the account itself and hit enter. It should give us the info button. Where you see the Microsoft logo. Yeah.
The one that says connected to.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
There we go.
And then you want me to hit, sorry, I missed that.
The info button, yeah. So click on here and hit sync. So another insider information on the next version for the creators update. There will be more information in here where you can actually see applications that's installed, the policies that's applied, and a lot more information will be in this particular session here. So it's another good way to try to troubleshoot certain issues.
Okay.
All right.
Now, is it like with the iPads where I should tell it to sync a few times?
One should be enough, but go ahead and sync it another time. It's always good to sync it 2 or 3 times just to make sure that we kind of speed up the process. But all this stuff would be done automatically. It's just sometimes it takes its time to actually apply for several different reasons. One, it doesn't want to overload the service, and two, it might be queued up in our services, but it usually doesn't take that long.
Okay. Well, Michael, thank you very much for that, and I'm sure the rest of our community members will appreciate that. It'll save them a lot of time. I'm going to stop recording. But I really appreciate all the help that you've provided me, and thanks on behalf of the others too.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure.